Hey guys, it's Darwin, and if you didn't get the memo, I'm obviously off the Appalachian Trail, and I'll get to all that in a minute, when, where, and how, and why, but today's video is going to be a little bit different than how I typically do them. Usually I wave my hands around and try to be funny, I show a lot of B-roll, I talk about gear, and I walk past the camera a lot on trail, but today's video is going to be a little bit more serious. Right now, there's a ton of media here on YouTube talking about the whole COVID-19 situation and how it's affecting the hiking community. And this video is going to be sort of similar, but I'm not going to go into my suggestions if you're going to go out on trail and how you should distance yourself from other hikers. I'm not going to give a bunch of statistics because there are plenty of those videos floating around. And I'm also not going to go on some rant and say a bunch of outrageous things and be an irrational person and an unstable person because unfortunately, those videos also exist. Today, I want to give you my situation from my perspective of being somebody that was out on trail and had to get off because of this whole COVID-19 situation, this whole virus outbreak. So, as some of you probably know, a few weeks ago, I went out to start a big section hike of the Appalachian Trail. And I flew out a few days before I started my hike on March 10th. And being at the airport, getting out there, staying at the hotel I stayed at, um, it was really no different. You know, the airports weren't super crowded, the planes were still fully packed full of people. And at the time, there were only a handful of cases that were in the US. It hadn't blown up really big. Now, being a long distance hiker, I'm used to fear mongering. Out on the PCT, there's so much fear mongering that goes on about the Sierra. So I'm a person that doesn't typically jump to conclusion. I like to see facts and weigh them. And when I went out to start the AT, there was no real clear sign that everybody should be completely postponing their hike. So I started on March 10th from Springer. And when I got to Nell's Gap on day 2, still everything was as it should be. Nobody was talking about any virus. I heard one couple give their opinion that they were saying that they had gotten an email from the school that they were going to that was telling them that they might cancel classes. And the couple was excited because they were going to be able to continue their section hike and not get off the trail to go back to school. Well, on day 5, I rolled into Franklin, North Carolina to stay at a friend's hostel, a new hostel that just opened in Franklin. I went to go see them, and that's when things sort of seemed weird. There was a big talk of toilet paper not being at resupply spots. There was a little bit of a talk of places shutting down because they were worried about a virus. So I ended up taking a 0 day with my friends at their hostel to not only hang out with them, but just to kind of see how things went. Well, on Monday, March 16th, I decided to jump back on trail because nothing had really happened yet. Nothing had went on lockdown. And after 8 miles on the trail, I got up to Wyabald. I flipped open my phone and I start getting all these notifications, seeing other thru hikers that were going to be postponing their hikes, seeing that there were bars and restaurants that were going to shut down in North Carolina, and seeing that the ATC, the Appalachian Trail Conservancy, was recommending that hikers postpone their hike, and also for hikers that were on the trail to get off. You see, I think right now there's a lot of misinformation about hikers going out on trail and being on trail and people starting on a certain day. You have to realize that being out on trail, everything just seemed normal. We were out on trail, everybody's starting, no one's talking about it. And just like it blew up in everyone's town and in your home, it blew up that fast on the trail. One day everything was fine. The next day, everything was going nuts. People were postponing their hikes. The ATC was making statements. So that day, I made a quick video over on Instagram saying that, I didn't know what I was going to do. I had seen that the ATC was recommending that people get off. They were starting to close restaurants and bars. And after I made that video, that night I made the decision to get off of the trail. So the next day on March the 17th, which was St. Patrick's Day, I decided to get off the trail. Luckily, I had a friend that lived not too far. off of the trail. I stayed with him for a few days to kind of watch this all blow up even more. And then I had to make a decision that honestly scared the hell out of me. To give you, some perspective for someone that actually had to travel during all of this, I flew back to Arizona. I didn't want to. It scared me. I really didn't want to do it. My wife needed me back here in Arizona, and I was in the airport, which was super dead. There was nobody in the airports. On a plane, that there were only 6 people, and everybody was divided up. Washing my hands every 4 minutes, lathering myself in hand sanitizer, and even wearing my buff as a face mask because honestly, it terrified the hell out of me. I made the decision to get off the trail. It wasn't because of fear mongering. It wasn't because of the media. It wasn't because I thought it was the end of the world. It's because I had immense respect for the ATC who maintains and protects the trail. I have a ton of respect for every community that surrounds the trail, from all the support I get whenever I do a hike, and a ton of respect for other hikers on the trail. And those people were telling me to get off the trail, and that's why I did it. Now, I posted a video and I got a ton of crazy, weird responses from people saying, oh, stay out on trail, self-quarantine yourself. It's the best place to be. I think a lot of people don't understand really what a through hike entails. And I think there's a lot of people that think that a lot of us are out there just walking through the wilderness for 4 to 5 to 6 months, and we're foraging for food and shooting squirrels. And that's not what a through hike is, especially not the AT. It's a very communal experience. There's a lot of hikers that hang out at trailheads and at shelters. Whenever you get to a road and you have to go to a town, you're hitching, and a bunch of hikers are getting in someone's car and they're taking you down to a town, so you're in contact with them. When you get into a town, you're resupplying, going into outfitters, you're staying at hostels and hotels, and there's a lot of contact with these small communities. So one of the big reasons that a lot of the trail associations, whether it was the ATC, the Pacific Crest Trail Association, the Continental Divide Trail Coalition, the Arizona Trail Association, why they were asking for hikers to get off is because they knew that these small communities could not handle a big outbreak of a virus, that they were basically, it would shut these little towns down, because even though they do have health care, some of these towns are very small little mountain towns out in the middle of nowhere, and they just don't have the infrastructure to handle some sort of horrible outbreak. Now, this is that time in the video where I want to let everyone know that this is not me shaming anybody. This is not me pointing a finger and blaming anybody. This is not me being irrational and going on some rant like some other people have, which is totally uncalled for, totally ridiculous. I'm asking all hikers, if you plan on starting a through hike or a section hike or a weekend backpacking trip tomorrow, the next day, next week, next month, postpone your hike. Stay home. Help the country, help the community, help the world contain this thing. We don't really know how big it's going to get. We don't really understand it. They haven't really figured out, to this point, as far as I know, any type of cure for it. Please stay home. And for all the hikers that are watching this right now that are on the trail, whether it's the AT, the PCT, the CDT, the Arizona Trail, please get off the trail. Please take those steps to protect yourself, to protect the communities, and protect the other people that are around you. Because long distance hiking, long distance trails are more about a selfish journey that we're all on. It's about the community. It's about the people that support you. It's about the people that you meet and the people that you have those connections with. So out of respect for the trail, out of respect for those communities, please get off the trail. Now, I know right now there's a lot of people that are trying to get off the trail. There's a lot of people that are over here from other countries that decided to put their life on hold and flew over here, and they don't know what they're going to do. They don't know, getting off the trail doesn't seem like an option for them. Reach out. Our community is so amazing. Recently, my buddy Odie over at the Hiker Yearbook posted a video asking for help. There's a ton of hikers that are out on the trail right now trying to get off, trying to do the right thing. Please support the hiking community. Help these hikers get off. this is a crappy situation for everybody. And again, if you're a hiker watching this, I know that you saved up money. I know that you put your life on hold. I know that just the thought of canceling that and getting off trail is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous idea. And I know firsthand from someone that had to get off the trail in 2015 because of breaking a tooth, contracting a form of Lyme disease, and having a loved one die. I was 1,600 miles into a trail and I had to get off and put that hike on hold for a while. And it's awful. It's a terrible feeling. But right now, everyone is in that situation. Not only hikers, but there are towns that are shutting down. There's hostels that have closed. There's small businesses that depend on the support of hikers, that depend on the support of communities to keep them open. I have a friend that owns a restaurant. I have a friend that owns a brewery, and both of those places have closed down, and both of those friends are worried that those places might not open again, that they might not be able to dig out of this, and that they're going to have to file for bankruptcy. So everyone is suffering because of this. But do your part, postpone your hike, get off the trail, and stay home. Again, I don't mean this to be shaming. I don't mean this as a negative thing. I mean it as a positive thing. I think that if we all help each other, we all support each other, encourage each other, I think that this will make our hiking community stronger and it'll make the trail stronger. So please postpone your hike. Please get off the trail. And if you know of a hiker that's trying to get off trail, please support them. We gotta stop all this negative hate and all these comments and ignorant videos that people are putting out, shaming people and making irrational statements. People that have no frame of reference and weren't out on the trail and don't understand the whole situation and what it's like to be on trail right now. I do, and I can tell you that it's obviously a hard thing, and it's getting even harder with all of these services and all of these people shutting down. So be responsible. If you're truly part of this hiking community, stand up for it. Be a responsible person. Be a responsible hiker. Be a responsible person in the community. Be a responsible influencer. If you're an influencer right now, if you're making YouTube videos, if you're making Instagram posts, you shouldn't be shaming people. If you feel like you're a part of this hiking community and you love hikers, you should be respecting it and you should be helping people, not tearing people down. That's not the hiking community, guys. Don't make it like that. So going forward, what can we do as a community? Well, again, we can respect each other, we can support each other, we can love each other. I've seen so much great media come out of this, and I've seen the hiking community get stronger with so many hikers that postpone their hikes, making awesome inspirational YouTube videos, making great Instagram posts and Facebook posts, encouraging each other and lifting everybody up in this time where we're all disappointed that we can't be out on trail. Unfortunately, I've also seen a lot of negativity on Facebook groups, people shaming other people. Unfortunately, other creators here on YouTube making ridiculous statements and being an irrational, unstable person and saying crazy things, hoping that people die because of this. Shame on you. You want to shame somebody? Shame on you. So, what I'm asking going forward is for everyone to respect each other. Let's all be hiker trash and be proud to be hiker trash, and let's not be trashy hikers. All right, so like I said, this was a little bit of a different video. Going forward, obviously the AT is off the plate. I won't be going back out to the AT. I was supposed to go to Peru in May. Doesn't look like that's gonna happen. And right now, I still have a planned through hike in July on the Great Divide Trail up in Canada. And then in August, a through hike of the Colorado Trail. And I don't know what's gonna happen with those either because I'm not going anywhere, because obviously you guys aren't going anywhere for a while. I will be putting out a bunch of videos. Luckily, even though I was only on trail for about 7 to 8 days, I was able to shoot quite a bit of footage, and I will be putting out at least 2 episodes of my hike. So hopefully you guys will enjoy that, and it'll help you get through this crazy quarantine time. And going forward, if you guys want to see me make any certain video, if over the last 5 years there's a video that I just haven't made that you want to see, leave me something down below and let me know what you guys want to see. Give me some suggestions, maybe a refresher course in something, maybe a certain gear review that you haven't seen me do. We got to keep each other entertained. We got to keep inspiring each other. We got to keep lifting each other up, and hopefully This all passes and we can all get back out on trail and be a stronger community because of it. All right, guys, I love you. Please support each other. Thanks for watching.